Okay.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. It is now 7 p.m. on Tuesday, July 13th, 2021. And I now call to order the 2078th regular meeting of the City of College Place City Council. And will the clerk please take roll call? Thank you. Good evening, everyone.
Sorry.
It's now 7.
My fault. Okay, Councilmember Bobbitt,
Present.
Councilmember Cleveland,
Present.
Councilmember Peterson,
Present.
Councilmember Nijhagen,
Present.
Councilmember Sherman,
Present.
Councilmember Boyle.
Present.
Councilmember Selby has requested to be excused. We also have Mayor Hernandez, City Administrator Rizzatello, Deputy Finance Director Descherie Cinnamon, Deputy Clerk Shelley Williams, and City Clerk myself. We do have a quorum. You're good to go.
Fabulous. Thank you so much. So next, will you all please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May I say something real quick
Yes, ma'am.
about the flag? When the
Please.
when the Pledge of Allegiance was first written, it was said, "I pledge allegiance to my flag." And then it was changed. And then, of course, in 1954, President Eisenhower added "under God." So I thought you might want to know that.
That is interesting. I hadn't known that. Thank you. All right, so it is now time for a public comment. And Lisa, did anyone submit a comment or arrange to speak?
No, they did not. And we do not have any attendees on the Zoom, so.
Okay, great, thank you. So then we're going to move on to the consent agenda, which includes approving the agenda for July 13th, 2021, approving the council minutes from June 22nd, 2021, approve council minutes from July 6, 2021 workshop, accept the AARP Community Challenge Grant for wireless internet at city parks and municipal campus, and acknowledging approving Councilmember Selby's absence. Are there any items that the council would like removed from the consent agenda at this time? All right, is there a motion?
I move.
Motion.
accept the
Oh, go
consent
ahead, Marge.
agenda.
Go ahead, Marge. You got it. I'll second.
Okay, we have a first and a second. Is there any other discussion? All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, the ayes have it and the motion is passed. Thank you all. Moving right along, presentations, we do not have any for tonight, nor do we have any public hearings. So we're skipping along to action items. And the first action item is the Walla Walla Intertie Agreement update. And Mr. Rizzatello will be presenting on behalf of Mr. Hartwig.
Yep. So these are just some conventional edits that the city of Walla Walla is making to other interlocal agreements and applies to us. We have the intertie agreement. We all negotiated with them back in 2018 for the interties. So for instance, some of the changes, and you can look this up in the red line mark copy, is just specifically citing the resolution that adopted the prior agreement. Also, number 5, ownership of interties. The previous agreement was very descriptive about like what are the vaults, and we're trying to augment this to where over time, if we need to add additional vaults, we can. Also, in this case, They were really descriptive before because one of the connecting vaults over at Garrison Village Way didn't have a meter on it, and we were banned from using that one. We could use the other two at 12th and Rose, but we were banned from using a Garrison Village Way one until we got a meter on it. We've since put a meter on that, so all of the existing interties that exist we can use now. And then section 6 just has some language tying it to current standards for American Water Association, which is what we utilize for the construction drawings on eHouse. That's not a big deal. 7 charges for service. It just ties it to water usage and the amount that's in their rate ordinance that all their customers have to abide by. Section 8 payment delinquency charges are just tied to the code pertaining to delinquency charges for customers, and we would be a customer just like everyone else, so that's not a big deal. Page 3 just eliminates all of that descriptive language about each intertie because they aren't concerned anymore about, oh, do you have a meter on this one versus that one? They all do now, so we can use any of them upon proper notification of staff over there. And then duties college place, again, current AWWA, not a big deal, and DOH is Department of Health, and we fall under their jurisdiction, so not really a change there. And then promptly make payments, we do, so that's not a big deal. And then page 4 just changes the mayor name, and then also for notices, instead of putting city manager, goes to city clerk, and for college place, Norma signs it as opposed to Harvey because Norma is mayor. And with that is the changes prescribed in this draft document for your consideration.
Thank you, Mike. We'll go through city council members for any questions or comments, and we will start with Councilmember Bobbitt.
No questions. Thank you, Mike.
Councilmember Cleveland,
No questions.
Councilmember Peterson.
Oh, a couple of really quick questions. I think, Mike, once again, and it's not a big deal, but we would be charged at retail, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's been the way it's been for, since the inception. One other kind of a curiosity question. Are these two-way valves? And I mean, I understand that if we were to have to feed them back, it would, it wouldn't go very far as their needs, but do they flow back and forth, you know?
So the intertie over at Garrison Village Way and 12th do not. Those two only flow to us. The one that's over at Rose Street and Cary Court does have the ability to go two-way. So hypothetically, if they hit a situation around the immediate town center area, we could bail them out in a limited circumstance over there.
Yeah. Okay, thanks, Mike.
Yeah.
Councilwoman Nyhagen,
No questions, thank you.
Councilwoman Sherman,
No questions, thanks.
and Councilwoman Boyle.
No questions, thanks.
All right, if you think of any questions, please use your buttons to raise your hand. And seeing none, is there a motion?
I move,
Go ahead.
I make the motion to authorize the mayor to execute the updated water intertie agreement with the city of Walla Walla.
Councilmember Peterson, I would second.
Great, thank you. Any additional discussion? All right, let's vote. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed? All right, it's unanimous. The ayes have it and the motion is passed. Thank you. Next is the proposed Southwest Majania Road cross section, which is from College Avenue to Bellevue Lane. And Mr. Rizzatello is going to present on that as well.
Yep. So as you may recall with Majania Road, that was transferred into our jurisdiction about a year and a half ago in anticipation of development to the south. With that federal infrastructure bill that passed, we did include this as one of the prioritized projects in that resolution you all adopted a couple of months ago. Keep in mind that with a grant application we filed to the MPO, that was to pay for engineering and so forth. As well as land acquisition, that did get funded. That money becomes liquid at around October, so that's when we can start engineering and right-of-way acquisition, because there are parts of that where existing right-of-way deviates anywhere from 74 and then it shrinks to about 60 feet when it makes that curve at the west end of the Craig Christensen property. We went to the federal government to pursue the grant funds to actually construct this thing after we engineer it and we acquire the right of way to build it. That federal infrastructure bill has been divvied up into two parts. So there's a highway bill. The highway bill apparently passed last week and Majania Road was in it. So we officially got the money to go construct Majania Road. One of the tie-ups with that is they wanted to see a conceptual right-of-way of what we were thinking of doing. And you'll see that in the cross section. So you'll see that there's sidewalks on both sides, planter strip, bike lanes, because one of the things in this federal money has been moving around is that they really want to see complete streets, and complete streets are streets that entertain all the modes of transportation. So vehicular, public transit, bike lanes, concrete sidewalks, all of that. So you'll see the two bike lanes, the two 12-foot travel lanes. There's a turn lane, but we only are proposing turn lanes near any of the roads that will like go into the eventual new development to the south. So not a turn lane the whole way, because that would be a little crazy. And then as you'll see the planting strip. But I just need the approval of this so that way we can turn it in to go get the federal money. About 2 months ago, this concept did go through our Utilities and Transportation Advisory Commission. They did recommend approval of this cross section. I was waiting to see that the federal bill would actually pass, and the one for streets did. So that's why it's necessitating the movement of this cross section. As far as the final bill in the main infrastructure bill, which will deal with the wastewater treatment plant, there is a lot of debate on the federal level on that. So that other half of the bill is likely to move in the fall sometime. But for sure, we do have the money coming for this.
All right, thank you, Mike. Let's go through council members for questions or comments, beginning with Council Member Bobbitt.
I'm looking over the documents. Can you come back to me? Thank you.
Okay, Council Member Cleveland.
No questions, but this is pretty awesome and exciting.
Council Member Peterson.
No questions, thank you.
Councilwoman Nyhagen.
No questions. Thank you very much.
Councilwoman Sherman
No questions.
and Councilwoman Boyle.
No questions.
All right, Jerry, we're going to come back to you. They didn't give you much time to review that. Any questions or comments at this time?
Well, I know there's a road closure on Majania, and I don't think that's part of this particular part, is it, Mike?
No, so what's necessitating the road closure is that we're constructing the southwest sewer. And that was actually going through Majania from Teal to Owens Road to get to wastewater treatment plant. That installation has wrapped up on mid-January, so it is now open. The county did come in afterward and did a chip seal. So it was closed again briefly for that, for the county portion, but now it's reopened. And along the same lines, I should mention, and there is some notices up about that, but there are intermittent College Avenue closures because we're trying to scramble to get Southwest Sewer in College Avenue before school opens. So that is underway right now.
Wow. And I noticed too, it says New College Place School. Is that out towards the other end of Majonia?
Yeah. So the New College Place School, the school district is at the end stages of acquiring the property at the end of Teal Road, and that's actually adjacent to. They have 5 acres we bought a while ago to put the lift station for the Southwest Sewer. And it's in anticipation for the development out there because, as you all know, we have a really tiny urban growth area. So that is primarily the only area we're growing into. So we all have to prepare for that.
Okay, can I make a motion?
Yeah, well, let me just quickly see if there's any other questions or comments.
I thought I was the last one.
Just in case somebody thought of something else, I always follow up one more time. But I don't see any, Councilmember Bobbitt, so please make your motion.
Okay, I would like to make a motion to accept the attached cross-section for the Southwest Majonia Road reconstruction project.
This is Heather. I'll second.
Great, we've got a first and a second. Is there any other discussion? All right, seeing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, it's unanimous. The ayes have it and the motion is passed. Thank you, Mike. We do not have any administrative reports tonight, nor do we have any informational reports in this package. We do not also have an executive session. So we are just moving quite along. I think it's been a while since we've gone this fast through a meeting. But is there any other business for good of the order?
I have a question, but it's very short. Nobody panic. Nobody panic. When is Paul's last day and are we going to have a party?
So Paul's last day is basically last day in August, and the city will have a party for him. We'll coordinate that.
Cool. Thank you.
Yep.
We're just not saying which year. It's not.
Yeah.
All right, any other questions or comments? All right, seeing none, do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All right, we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, we have first and a second. If there's no objections, the meeting is adjourned at 7:18 p.m.
Wow. Have a good week, buddy. Have a good week.
Have a